which seems perfectly acceptable to me. There you are. And so it wasn't Help, it was NUJV. So what are the other famous, if they are, or infamous Beatles?
Barefoot on the Abbey Road cover.
The Barefoot on the Abbey Road cover is the absolute classic, isn't it? And what did that indicate?
Dead.
Well, supposedly John is said to be dressed as a preacher, Ringo as an undertaker, George as a gravedigger, why a gravedigger in denim, and Paul with the suit but no shoes is a corpse. You might also notice that he's carrying a cigarette, but if you were to buy a modern copy of it, you would find that cigarette had disappeared.
Where's it gone?
There. Look, it's gone.
Wow.
Disappeared.
Wow.
Was there? It's gone. Anyway, photographer Robert Freeman wanted to arrange the Beatles to spell out help in semaphore. Didn't like the way it looked, so they went with NUJV instead. What does Puff the Magic Dragon have in common with Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds?
Christmas.
Lee.
Are they both about drugs?
No. They're not. A lot of people think they are, but neither is. Do you know Puff the Magic Dragon? Do you know the song?
Puff the Magic Dragon.
He lived by the sea.
Lived by the sea.
And
wallowed in the land of France and Lee. Puff the Magic Dragon.
No, very good. That's excellent.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's the song. Yeah, it's based on an Ogden Nash rhyme called "The Really Truly O Dragon," and there was a Cornell student, Leonard Lipton, and he gave it to his friend Peter Yarrow, who wrote the song. And Peter Yarrow tells us quite specifically, even if I'd had the intention of writing a song about drugs, which I may have had at a later time, I was 20 years old at Cornell in 1959. I was so square, as was everyone else. Drugs had not emerged. I know Puff was a good dragon, would never have had drugs around him. Now you've heard that from the mouth of the dragon's daddy. It is not about drugs.
He thinks he's the dragon's daddy.
Yeah. And he's not on
Well, there is that.
It was going well until the very end.
Do you know the official story of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds?
Yeah. Didn't Julian come home from playgroup with a picture? Julian Lennon, that is, and they said, "What's this?" And he said, "It's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds."
Brilliant. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, he's written the whole song.
No, he'd done a painting.
Bloke upstairs going, "That's my job!
He stole my painting!
Get me a pen!"
Oh, Christ. No, he'd done a... Little Julian...
I've got Lucy up here!
Oh, God. Little Julian had painted a picture of a girl surrounded by stars, and it was his friend Lucy in playgroup. And John said, "What's that then?" And he said, "It's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds."
That was the older brother that spoke like that. We've been through it.
And,
Julian, what?
yeah, according to interviews with Lennon and the other Beatles, they didn't notice that the initials spelled out LSD until after the record was released. Good. Now, finally, something seasonal at last. A man goes to the doctor, right? Doctor, I can't stop singing Auld Lang Syne. So the doctor says, "I'll have to send you to the Burns unit."
Very good.
Now, what's wrong with that joke?
Is it absolutely terrible?
Yes, see. Now, any other thoughts? What is all
Well,
right?
no, of course it's not, because Burns Night is not on New Year's Eve, is it? It's on, when is it?
25th of January.
20th, yes.
Yes.
So, of course, you wouldn't be singing Auld Lang Syne and Burns Night. You'd be singing it on New Year's Eve. So
That's true.
You'd be waiting 3
But
weeks.
most people think that Auld Lang Syne was written by Robbie Burns.
Auld Lang Syne wasn't even written by Burns.
That's right. Although a lot of members of the Burns Society believe he wrote it and say that it's nonsense he didn't, he himself said he didn't. He said it was a traditional song that he wrote down.
Really?
Yeah. Auld Lang Syne first comes up in 1724. We see it, and that was 35 years before Burns was born. It's a very popular song, though, in all kinds of places, especially in the Far East. In Japan, it's played daily to mark closing time in most large department stores. So, how did Burns sign himself? What was his name? What did he call himself?
Rabbi.
Not Rabbi, funny.
Robin.
Robin he did, yes. Robin and Rab and Robert, but never Robbie or Rabbi, oddly enough. Although everyone calls him Rabbi or Robbie Burns. Yeah. And there you go. What does it mean, Auld Lang Syne?
Old...
Oh, I know what it means.
Long
Remembrance?
Signs.
Yeah, kind of old long since. It means in the old days, long time ago. And how do the words go? Anyone who can give me the lyrics gets points.
All the winter be forgotten now.
Should all the winter
be forgot for the sake
Sing Auld Lang Syne.
Auld Lang Syne.
We'll take a couple kindness yet for the sake of old land.
Oh, yes, 4 points. Spot on. There he goes. But all that sex, drugs and rock and roll brings us to the end of the QI office party. And before we tell the boss what we really think of him, let's see if everyone has scored and what they have scored. Well, bless my blimey. With minus 29 points, I'm afraid our last place loser tonight is Lee Mack. In third place with minus 6, it's Bill Bailey. Oh, this is getting tense. First appearance, second place, minus 4, David Tennant. Which can only mean it's not only Christmas, it's a blue moon with plus 5. Alan Davies is the winner! Plus 5! Wow! So we are bidding a cool Yule and a gear new year to you all from David, Bill, Lee, Alan and me. And tonight, for some reason, I thought I'd leave you with a joke about doctors and time travel. Doctor, I keep seeing into the future. And when did this start? Next Tuesday afternoon. Good night and happy Christmas.
More insults on the airwaves next on BBC Two with Alan Partridge well and truly in the dung with his farming friends.